My slips, my falls, my trials and tribulations, my heart, my balls, my somebody stop, somebody come and get me. Little did I know that the Lord was riding with me. The dark, the light, my heart, the fight, the wrong, the right is gone.
Hey, what's going on out there, YouTube family? This is Samuel Leah representing Team JVS, back again for another movie review. This is a movie that's brought from Netflix, and the name of it is The Half of It. Now, this is the synopsis of the movie. When a smart but cash-strapped teenage Ellie Chu agrees to write a love letter for a jock, she doesn't expect to become his friend or fall for, I'm not going to spoil anything. So, the funny thing about this film is that it's got very engaging characters and acting chemistry. The highlight of this, of course, is the main character who plays the role of Ellie. Her name is Leah Lewis. Now, I've seen Leah, I think, in The Gifted, Station 19, and something else a while back. But she is definitely the highlight of this movie because she's very talented, like she's multi-talented, like very smart, engaging, she can write, like she has like a own like little business going on where she's like writing papers for other people and like making small little profits off the margin of it. I'll talk about the way that they kind of edited and add different transitions in this one. I thought that was very key to this actually working very well, very fluidly, considering like it's a baseline storyline. As a matter of fact, honestly, if you actually look at the first trailer of this, you'll probably be able to predict pretty much the beginning to the end, but that doesn't matter because it's still very engaging, very funny, very precise, and very heartfelt on so many different levels. And I think that she's definitely at the front runner of it. Again, she's selling papers out, she's very talented musically, very gifted, but she's not really necessarily a people person. She's very much so to her business, which is the way she kind of makes profits of certain things. But at the same time, she has a very specific relationship with her dad where he kind of runs like a train station. She kind of works with him, for him, and I don't want to spoil any of that. Her backstory is very, very key to everything that she does. Everything from like her motivations to her interactions, why she's more of an introvert as opposed to an extrovert, and it is very key to the story arc of it. So I'm not going to spoil anything with that. Then you have Paul. Paul is the jock that they're referring to within the confines of synopsis. He is played by the role of Daniel Diemer. I think I pronounced his last name wrong, but I think that he's most notable from, I think The Man in the, what is the name of that show? I think it's The Man in the High Castle. I've never seen it before, but I think that is his most notable role. He is very funny. He's got this, what's the word I would say, nervousness, anxiety about him. He doesn't really know how to articulate his words very well. He doesn't know how to really communicate very well. But yet at the same exact time, he communicates with Ellie very well because she's very much so introverted. She very much so is unfocused. She very much so has never really had a relationship, let alone like a communicated like back and forth friend. And the way that they end up like starting communications, lines of communication, the way they interact in general, it is some of the funniest and most engaging form of television entertainment I've seen honestly all year. Like I loved every line of dialogue they were in. And it was just, it amps itself up because every single time they're going and interacting, it's about him trying to perfect how to be the best boyfriend for this other character of, her name is Asher. Asher's played by Alexxis Lemire. The thing about Asher, she looks very old for her supposed age. She looks like a 20-something-year-old. I think that's the only flaw that I would say within this, because I was kind of like, why does this girl look like she's already in college? Like, but I think that they're at that really sweet spot where they're in their senior year and they're transitioning to college. One of the biggest things about Ellie's character is her transitioning out of this small town. The town itself is very suburban-esque and very to itself and has like these different factions to it, like the jocks and the geeks and the people that just kind of do as, and every single time, one of the things about Ellie is very fascinating. She doesn't have her own car. She very much so is trying to save money as much as she possibly can. So she's riding her bike everywhere she goes. And every single time, like, these group of guys or whoever are just kind of like looking down on her or like picking at her or whatever. And then you have Paul, who when he first meets her, he's just running her down. And like he continuously runs and runs and runs. I don't think I've seen a character run as much as him since your boy Tom Hanks in Forrest Gump. Like he just runs. And matter of fact, the funny thing about that is that the more he is running after Ellie and trying to get help from Ellie, the more he's getting better with his not academic, his athlete related stuff. Like he's doing football and different things. But his physical activities, like he's getting better with them the more he kind of practices with her. But the funny thing about it is that they make each other better. They open each other up in ways that they never could have thought before. This isn't very, what's the word? There is mild language here and there, and there is definitely some sensual circumstances, but there's no nudity. There's not a lot of vulgar, language. And I think it's very heartfelt because it tackles something that I don't think that a lot of movies try. Either one is kind of like, all right, there's this trope where you have the guy that wants the girl, and then you have this love triangle going on. Then you have like the girl that maybe has like this friend and she doesn't know that she's in love with him, or she doesn't know that he's in love with her, whatever. This movie takes that whole concept and says, whoop, we're going to create something completely different with this. And by the end of the movie, you're going to be like, oh my goodness, where do we go from here? But at the same time, it's very realistic in the way that things and circumstances can kind of go, depending on like this cookie cutter ideal of a happy ending or love or friendship. Like, I think very opening of it, the main character narrating, Ellie, she basically specifically says this is not like your traditional love story, and it doesn't go in the way that you would think in any way, shape, or form. But there's nothing wrong with that, because the thing I loved about this film is the interaction. Like, there was never a moment I wasn't entertained. From a transitional standpoint, the way that it was actually edited, like, there was different timestamps of certain things that would happen. Like, there's one moment where Ellie and Paul are going back and forth in different locations, trying to train him to be ready for his first date or interaction with the girl that he's in love with. And it's like the more they're doing that, they're also getting a lot of information back from each other. They're engaging with each other. She's learning how to really engage with other people. And it's just so fascinating to watch, because then the more she starts to understand the depths of his understanding of love, she starts to understand her process when it comes to love and what she's willing to give. And I think that that's one of the cornerstones of it. But the way that it's actually filmed and edited and certain things that they add in with the transitions, I think that it works perfectly in the confines of this film. And honestly, I really like this film. I mean, I think that I don't necessarily like the way that things ended up, but at the same exact time, I don't fault it, because I still had a very fun time with my moments of watching this, moments of interacting with this film. I really did have a lot of fun with it. I laughed. I was very teary. I was very confused. I was like, by the end of the movie, I was kind of like, I didn't know where it was really going to go. And honestly, I would have changed maybe one specific thing, just one little thing. But I think that the way that this was done, I think I have to give credit to the person that actually directed this and wrote it. This is Alice Wu. I'm trying to think what else she's actually done. She's done Saving Face. This is her first real big, from the looks of it, yeah. This is her first real big project. And I think that she does a really good job with the writing for this. The only thing is that, again, my only fault, I'm going to leave this at a 9 out of 10. The only thing I'm going to leave off because of it is because when I looked at the trailer, I knew everything that Wade was going to really process out. Matter of fact, me and my wife were really excited about watching it, but my wife looked at it and she was like, I think I know how this is going to end. And I was kind of like, oh, maybe I do too, but I did not know that or expect to have so much fun with it, so much life with it, and so much understanding on different levels of it But I don't want to spoil it for you. Definitely go and check out the half of it. I think you're going to have a really fun time with it. It's easy to see because on Netflix, on streaming. And I think that I really want to see more from this director and this writer. So definitely go check it out. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Keep it locked. JVS, we ain't gonna stop. Peace, guys.